Hello friends and welcome. In part one, we started the engine before we took it apart, and you could clearly see blue smoke. And the first thing I did was I pulled the head off, and there was a pool of oil in the cylinder on top of the piston there. And we also, on part one, we took out the exhaust valve, which was very hard to get out. It was carboned up really bad. And I'll leave a link to part one in case anybody wants to see it, if you didn't see it. And you could see that we took out the exhaust valve and all the other stuff we did to it so far. Off camera, I just took off the intake valve spring. I took that out so I could pull a valve out. Now I cleaned up the exhaust side valve, and I also cleaned up the intake valve too. The intake valve wasn't bad at all, but this is what we found with the exhaust valve here. You could really move this back and forth, so the valve guide's no good. And also what I found was a lot of wear on the valve here. If I run my finger down here, it gets caught right here, my fingernail. So there's wear on the valve. So the valve definitely has to be replaced, and we also are going to replace the valve guide. Now on the intake side, like I just said, it was pretty clean, but I did clean it some more. And there's hardly any play back and forth here. So the valve guide and the valve are good. I'm not feeling any ridge here. So what I did was, I really don't have a good way to measure the cylinder yet. I don't know if I ever will, but what I want to do is clean the top part where the piston rings don't hit here. There's a lot of carbon buildup, and I want to sand that down. And I bought a new honer from Harbor Freight because the other one's worn out. We did 2 cylinders with it and it's worn out. So after I get this all cleaned up, I got a lot of cleaning to do. We're going to hone out the cylinder, and I'm also going to lap the valve, the intake valve. I'll lap that. We could do that off camera. So this is the intake valve here. I don't want to mix them up, but you can't mix them up because as I showed you, the exhaust valve, it's bad. It's bad. So also what I want to show you with this, this is the camshaft lifter here. This is the plunger here. Okay, so it goes down this way on top of the bottom end here, and this is the lifter right here. Okay, and then when you see me adjust the valves, like this don't have a lock nut or anything. You just turn this here with, I believe, I think it's a 7/16. I'm pretty sure. That's how you adjust the valves on it, but we're not getting to that part for a while yet. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do all the cleaning of everything. And well, this time I'm going to use motor oil to hone out the cylinder. The first time I think we used gas. I don't know, I didn't like that too much. And then the second time, when we did the 1969 Gravely, I used WD-40 or PB Blaster or something like that. But this time I want to use motor oil, and I want to put a lot of oil on the stones and then the cylinder. And I'm going to try to do it a little slower this time, so we don't eat up the stones. Had a hard time getting that out. So I'll be back to you when we get ready to, I think we're going to do the valve lapping first. I'll put the valve spring back in, and that part will be done. And then we will work on the cylinder, honing it out. So what I did was on eBay, I found a used piston and rings that are 5 thousandths over. I don't know if that's going to be a bit much. It might be. We'll see how that works out. I have to stick the piston in there and then measure between the cylinder and the piston to see what the reading on that is. And if worst comes to worst, I'll have to file down the rings to make the rings fit. But I'm hoping the 5 thousandths over piston and rings will work. The guy wanted like $30 for it, and I put an offer in of $25. So it comes to like $32, $33. It's better than getting brand new rings from Richards, because it was either $36 or $46 for the ring set, because I think it did go up to $46. But I figured for $32, I could always use that piston for something else or whatever. But we haven't gotten to that point yet. Okay, so what you want to do is, we're going to do the valve lapping right now. Just want to put a little around the edge of the valve here. You don't have to go through the whole valve, just put a little bit in one spot, because when you're spinning it, it will all mix in. Put the lid back on this. I want the compound that was in the tube. This is liquidy shit. I don't know what this is, but then I usually just reverse the drill. Sounds pretty bad, huh? I'll put a little more on there. The important thing is, after you're done, make sure you clean everything up real good, because you don't want that going down into the valve seat or anything. I forgot to check and see if somebody had the other stuff that I like to use. I bought this from NAFA. Probably a couple of jobs ago. Did you notice how it sounded like it was grind and then it started to smooth out? That means that you're getting the job done. Just gonna work on that some more. I don't think we need to put any more valve compound on there. That's great. I think we're good with this. That vibration was from the valve compound stuff because it's gritty. We should be all right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the valve all up and see what it looks like. Okay, so I did it again off camera, and this is as good as it gets here. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the valve back in, the valve spring and the keeper and everything, and then I'll get some oil on the cylinder there, and then we'll hone out the cylinder. Okay, so when we get the exhaust valve, I'll lock that too. We'll get the new valve guide. I'll press that in. Well, I'll pound it in. And we'll lock the exhaust valve. So the intake valve's done. I put it back together. And now I oiled everything up real good, the cylinder and the stones. And we'll try to hone this thing out. Alright, so you want to keep, when you're doing this, you want to keep it moving at all times. You don't want to stop in one spot. I mean, these stones aren't that great on these Harbor Freight ones. I think it was it was 28 bucks for it. There's others that are a lot more expensive. So I'm just going to keep on doing that for a while. I don't want to bore you with that. But the important thing is just make sure you keep it moving. And let's see how it turns out. Then I'll clean the cylinder out real good, and we'll take a look at it and see what it looks like. Alright, so I worked on it for about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. This is about the best we're going to get this. Up here there was a ridge. You know, the piston rings don't hit up here. But I got it all smooth and everything here. So what we have to do now is have to order the valve guide. All the gaskets to put this thing back together again, and that's going to be it on this one. I think that this will all be all right. Once I lock the new valve in, it should be all right. And the valve guide, because this was really bad, like I told you before. So I think that was most of the problem we were having with. I don't know, a lot of oil was probably pumping into that, or vice versa. I don't know. It's hard to say. As far as the intake goes, like I told you, I hardly had to clean that. I don't think there was anything going on with that. In the valve guide, when I was wiggling the valve when I showed you, it was pretty tight in there. So, alright, so thanks for watching. I hope you got a little something out of this video. And I'll see you all on the next one. We'll probably be doing something else in the meantime while I wait for parts for this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all on the next one, and take care.